what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
agree to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, we'll make it bottle. It's like a rubbed out T-bird from Greece.
Yeah, I can see that.
She's got that black hair.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to ChickChat. It's Mary Margaret back with you today, but I have a totally different show planned. No, not totally different show. Not totally different show because it's still talking the same stuff, just different voice on the other side of the table. So I am coming to you again on themesh.tv. Hopefully you are checking out the rest of the shows that The Mesh has to offer, but ChickChat is one that you're subscribing to and listening and downloading and stuff. And we thank you for that. But today I'm without Janette. Janette is about to pop. Janette's about to have a baby. And we've been talking about it for a while on the episodes. And so we know that was coming, but she's legit about to have a baby, as in today is February 1st. It's a Friday. And word on the street is that she's being induced on Monday. So that is happening soon. We send her all our love and best wishes, and I will update everybody when we can. Thanks to all the people that sent in those notes previously to Janette. She really appreciated all of that. But I have my friend Cameron here today. So Janette being gone is sad. Cameron being here is happy. Welcome, Cameron.
Thank you.
You've been on here before.
I have. I'm a regular.
It's been a long time though.
It's been a couple years.
Yes, but you're back.
But I'm back.
I'm so happy to have you here. It has not been a couple years since we've been hanging out, but it's literally hours before our husbands don't hang out with each other.
Right. It's been
constantly
24 hours or so. So it's about time for them to.
They're probably breaking out in hives or itching or something,
yes,
right?
I'm sure they're communicating.
Cameron and I are golf widows together with our husbands.
Good way to put it.
Pretty good estimate there. But our husbands also are very crude text messengers to each other. It's highly uncomfortable when my husband's laughing at his phone, and then he'll be like, let me show you what Peter just said. I'm like, nope.
Don't want to see it.
I don't want to know.
Do not want to see it.
I have learned to just not even look at them, not even ask, because
you do a little differently, because when my husband starts laughing at his phone, and I know exactly what it is, I say, do not tell me what it is. Do not show me.
Yep.
I don't want to know. And he's kind of learned now that
just drop it.
Just let it ride.
Yeah.
Let it ride. He giggles to himself. It's quite funny to watch.
They get so easily amused, because the few times that he will be like, no, let me show you this. This is funny. And he shows it to me, and I'm like, that's not that funny.
Yeah. The funny meter is barely bobbling on that one.
Funny, really. You're in fact awkward and 12-year-olds.
But they're men.
They are.
I mean, let's be honest. They're just simple creatures.
They are. And as we have Moose, who is in our engineer booth, we all can appreciate that, can't we, Moose? Golf, silly jokes. That's life for Moose. That's life for men. I get it. See, at least we've accepted it. Moose is getting married in a couple months.
Yes.
So this is all about to come to fruition. Now, granted, he's been with the girl for a long time.
Yes.
So he's used to it, but I don't think he understands that there is still a level of things that change. As soon as the reception is over.
Yep. Locked and loaded.
Still a change in things. Get excited, Moose. He's happy. Good. All right. So something else that people may not know about you, but I consider you like the queen of a Sunday Funday.
Yes, I do like a good Sunday Funday.
Yes. So you also Sunday Funday with your whole family. You have 2 kids.
I do. I
want to know how this happens. I want to start from the beginning, because here's the thing. There are some posts that you'll put up on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You know, we're Instagram friends, and I love it. But it's things like, forced family Sunday Funday, right?
Yes.
But you go to a brewery, right? Okay, so who are you forcing? How do you make it to where you do not have a golf schedule to compete with?
Right.
Tell
Right.
me what your process is for making this happen.
So, as far as the golf schedule goes, I think that that's a habit that's been in play for a while.
Yes.
So, Moose, take heed that when you have children, initially, the weekend golf tends to go away for a little while.
Sure.
And I think Peter's just learned over the years that weekend golf is not ideal.
Right.
I think over many discussions, not arguments, discussions.
Yep.
Um,
Intense talks.
intense talks, as we tell the children. We're not
Yes.
fighting. We're just talking.
Absolutely.
He tries to play early in the morning. He'll come to me and say, I'm going to play golf, but I'm going to play at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Like, I think he's
And there's only two of us. Or
There's only two of us. We're
there's
going to be
some
done. I'm going to be home by noon.
There's key points that
So
are
we're
always
good to
brought up.
go. So that's helped. And then over, of course, the kids' soccer, the whole weekend golf has definitely
Because you have two boys.
yes, I have two boys that are 14 and 11, almost 12. So when soccer season is in full swing, there's really no golf that happens on the weekend, even if it could.
Yeah, exactly. Even if
We
you were
did
cool with
have,
it, right.
even if I was cool with it, it's usually soccer, which is good.
Sure.
Totally fine. But Forced Family Fun Day is over the year, the last maybe 2 to 3 years, when you start to have teenagers and they don't want to hang out with you anymore. They really actually don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Except be home with their Fortnite and their computer and their phone.
Yes.
And so I've sort of made a concerted effort that when we haven't had an activity in a while, we force them to go do something. And
Right.
you mentioned the brewery.
Yes. I've seen it multiple times.
Yes.
Right.
So we do like breweries. The kids have sort of gotten to the point because a lot of breweries have become very family friendly over the
Absolutely.
years. So I feel like it's somewhere where we're all happy. They have cornhole and they have games and they have board games and
Yeah.
they'll have
The big
TVs with games
Jengas
on.
and stuff,
Jengas, yes. And so we've tried to do that, but we do sprinkle some other, we'll make them go on hikes. Or actually, it's probably more like making me go on a
Right.
hike. Let's be honest.
I'm like, you were like waking up being like, let's go on a hike.
Yes. So we try to do things that maybe don't cost money and things
Yes.
that do cost money. I have a husband that doesn't like to drive outside of the Hickory city limits. And so
Really?
I
Never
love
really knew
Hickory.
that.
I love Hickory and but sometimes you have to explore outside.
Absolutely.
So,
we have some great areas surrounding us. We're very lucky in this
Very,
area
very
because
lucky.
we're super close to the mountains for day trips. Even you don't even have to
Yes.
spend the night for
No.
these things.
Yeah.
Day trips to the mountains, and then we're a weekend trip to the beach is totally
Easily.
feasible. And that's just
Easily.
not happening in a lot of cities or a lot of states. But we're very lucky with that.
Yes.
So yeah, a trip to the mountains is not like a huge problem.
No, we can get up, get dressed, be there by lunch, have lunch, walk around, do something fun
Yes.
with the kids, and then be home by dinner. And
Sure.
it's just, we sort of, the whole force, which, by the way, I've seen a lot of other people. It's not just me doing this.
Absolutely.
But honestly, with my kids, and I think a lot of kids are this way, that once you quote, force them out of the house, within the first 10 to 15 minutes might be a little bit brutal
Yeah.
and everybody's arguing. But once everybody gets there, you actually really have a good day.
Sure.
So when I always tell my parents when they say, well, they didn't really want to do anything. I said, well, did you ask them or did you tell them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a big difference. If you ask them, they're going to say no every time. But if
They're
you
not grown
tell
adults
them-
yet.
Exactly.
They don't really get to make the
They don't
choices.
get to choose.
I tell my kids that a lot, especially when it comes to the point of dinner. That's a
very
hot
true.
topic of
Big topic.
you don't get to choose. Like,
Right.
thank you for your input.
Right.
But
You
the
can give me
decision is ultimately
suggestions.
mine.
We need like a suggestion box
Yeah,
in our
put it in
house.
here.
Stick it in. I'll read them once a week. Chicken nuggets, lasagna,
Sure.
hamburgers, fine.
Right.
But every once in a while, we might have a piece of chicken
Right.
and something green.
A vegetable.
A vegetable of some sort.
Yes.
French fries not being one of those
Right,
vegetables
right.
because it's a potato, because I hear that too.
I do hear that as well. Ours debates a lot between I don't want to eat at home tonight because you're going to have to fix it and it's going to take time.
Forever.
Right. And we just got out of practice. So it's already late and we already this. So can we just go eat something somewhere?
Right.
That is our discussion. But here's the thing. I have 2 girls and one that would lay in the middle of the street pleading to me to please just let her eat at a different restaurant every night, and she'd eat wherever we wanted to go and what we want to do. It doesn't matter. Just please let me not eat at home. And I have the other one that gets in the car and is like, I cannot wait to go home. Mm-hmm. Like, please, can I just have some mac and cheese tonight and sit at home and put on my comfies and play some
it's
video
a girl
games
after my
and
own
all,
heart.
right? Yeah, and I'm the same way. I'm kind of like, I kind of want to go home. Like,
yes, yes.
Mine. If on the weekends, like, I'll totally let's go out. Let's go to. Even just running errands. Like, let's all get out together.
All get out together.
We're all
yes.
doing it together.
We do that too.
Yeah. I mean, that's sometimes our Sunday Funday is errands, but at least we're all together.
Yes.
But then I've got one kid that's like, what's next? Where do we go? What can we do? What's going on? And the other one's like, oh, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, and you're 8. So
I've got both of mine are that. I mean, Griffin's a little better, a little more willing.
Yeah.
But usually it's, how long is this going to take? What time are we going to get home? How long does it take to drive from here to there?
Right.
What time can I be on my computer? What time is dinner? Like, they want the entire
they want that schedule
planned out day.
Charlotte is mine. Charlotte needs to know to the second what is about to happen.
Yes.
Please tell
Brandon's
me so that I can know and just be done with it. And then, and my favorite response to her is, think back to when you asked me the last time.
Fast forward that many minutes.
Right. And what was that answer? And then she'll be like, okay. Like she knows she can figure it out. But, so for example, a couple weekends ago, it was rainy. It was gross out. We ended up going bowling, which now we've since then gone bowling every weekend because the kids are just sort of in this groove with it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
go with it.
Squash that because I'm like, hey, it's fine. It's affordable. We get out as a family. We're having fun. We're laughing and great.
Perfect.
And the bowling alley has some delicious drinks.
Yes.
Side note, there's 2 bowling alleys in the area, right?
Yes.
One has this full cocktail menu.
I do not know of this bowling alley you speak of.
Colonial.
Oh, on
Colonial
17th.
is
I've never even been in there.
Oh, huh? What?
I know. We always go to Penn Station.
No, you need to stop. You need to stop. Okay. So Colonial is the original, right? So that's the one that's always been there. It used to be the Smoker Haven,
See,
right?
I think that's why we never went there is because of the smoking. But now that you can't smoke.
It's legit gone now.
Okay.
So now they have wait service, the person that's coming out and taking your order.
Like Topgolf, aka bowling?
Sort of, but not as cool as
Right.
Topgolf. Right. Yeah. There's one person that kind of goes through the lanes and stuff, but they have this nice menu and it's got a full menu of salads, appetizers, full meals, sandwiches, wraps, pizza, everything. And then there's a cocktail menu, right? And so I usually get these little fishbowl things there.
Stop.
No,
it.
Total serious. It's like a fishbowl
Is it blue?
Stuff. The one I had recently was red.
Okay.
Yes, but whereas Penn Station has pitcher beer and Bartles and James.
And very tiny plastic shot glasses to drink your beer out of.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
I am familiar with those.
The experience could be great at Penn Station. It's awesome. But if I'm going for my family Sunday Funday, give me the alcohol.
Okay.
Sitting there.
This is going to be on our schedule.
It's interesting. It really is. And Colonial Lanes has $2.50 bowling on Sundays, which is is nothing compared to what you pay.
Right.
Any other time.
$2.50 a game.
Yeah. That's
like $10 for a family.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's phenomenal.
Let me write this down.
We
bowling.
Yes.
Saturday or Sunday.
Sundays at Colonial.
Sundays at Colonial Lanes.
So we enjoy that. Now, speaking of, this weekend is Super Bowl.
Yes. This is
Do
the Super
either
Bowl.
of you guys have a team in the mix?
No.
No, y'all don't care about them.
No. I mean, we'll watch it. The kids are excited to watch it. But honestly, I would say 10 minutes in, they'll leave.
Oh, sure.
And we'll probably change the channel.
And you're here for some commercials and
Commercials,
maybe
a halftime show, and
You
the
heard
end.
about the halftime show?
So I know Maroon 5. I actually just read an article yesterday.
Yes.
That Maroon 5, I knew they were doing it, but that they're kind of making this big statement.
Yes.
This secretive. Now, I don't know if this is a PR stunt or if they're really...
I think it's both.
I think they're kind of hyping it up a little bit. I think they got a lot of flack from a lot of other artists saying that they shouldn't do it and they should boycott and this whole thing with the NFL.
The whole NFL, it started way back with the whole NFL kneeling while you flag thing, right?
Yes.
So the kneeling for the national anthem, you know I have listeners in Canada. So I'm explaining all this. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm sure they know
What's
about it.
up,
It's not
Canada?
Like, what up, Canada? And there's some all over the world. We had some numbers come in from Saudi Arabia, which is crazy. Right.
Okay.
So nonetheless, side note, obviously we've had big drama here stemming from way back with Kaepernick, right?
Yes.
Who refused to stand for the national anthem, instead chose to kneel beside his players and still addressing, the field and the flag area or whatnot, but chose not to stand with hand over heart. Sometimes people don't put their hand on their heart. I understand. They stand like hands
Locked
behind
arms.
their back. Right.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, this has been going on and on and on. There are some other players that have joined in. There's other sports that have joined in. There's other people. They're all doing it as a protest for how they felt that African Americans were being treated in the nation as a whole.
Yes.
But they were doing it as more of a peaceful protest. They were trying not to do anything.
Cause any ruckus.
Right. But as in like, causing a ruckus during the national anthem, because that would have just been
right. There's a lot of other ways they could have gone with that, but
so they chose to kneel. This has been going on. Kaepernick's not even a relevant person anymore, in my opinion, because this has all moved past. Like I feel like it's gone for so long, and now it's just everybody. But the NFL has made a new rule that if you're not going to stand,
you can't
come out on the field, right? Like I think you have to stay in the locker room or something like that.
True.
Okay.
Yep.
So there is, of course, people that are ticked off about that. There's people that are not ticked off about that. And now it's affecting the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Maroon 5 has somehow played into this with, from what I understand, their past opinions of this and then other artists, I guess, as you were saying. Because unfortunately, even though the Super Bowl halftime show is considered like one of the biggest deals of a performance, like it's a big deal
Like for
to
their
be
career
selected,
or whatever, right?
it generally never goes well. I mean,
yes,
that
correct.
was even the article that I read. They were kind of like, it usually ends up having something that people are criticizing the hell out of. And it never really ends up good for the person, even though they take it as even bad publicity is good publicity, right?
Right.
So it is, it's been interesting. So Maroon 5 has now declined their pre-game interview or something.
Yes, that was in the article too. I think they said normally, I guess the artist and the NFL like do sort of a joint pre-game press conference or something like that. And Maroon 5 was going to let the NFL just do it and let their performance speak for their... So
Adam Levine, he's so artsy.
He is very artsy and very secretive and very deep. That's the perfect word.
So deep.
It's going to be a very deep.
Whatever. Like, obviously, they're taking the press and running with it, whether people are saying bad things or not. So what? Maroon 5's on TV every day now talking about this. So there you go.
It's
Congratulations.
Working.
Right.
Yeah.
Congrats to your publicist for doing that. They announced that they will have, quote, from Adam Levine. That I just think it's funny that Adam Levine's saying this because I find it hard to hear. I don't know. Adam Levine says they're going to have the largest hip hop presence singing alongside of them that the Super Bowl has ever seen.
So is Cardi B coming?
No,
is that what you're telling me?
they're saying it's Travis Scott.
Oh, of course, Kylie's man, right?
Baby daddy. And Big Boy from Outkast. Remember them?
Back in the 90s? I do remember them. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
See how relevant this is going to be for Maroon 5? So
Yeah.
he's saying that that's who his supporting,
There was an issue, right? They couldn't find someone to perform with them.
Apparently that's what the press was saying, was that they were reporting like, ooh, Maroon 5's in trouble because nobody wants to perform with them because one, it's going to be a, shit show.
Right.
And two, it's going to be already have drama around it. So we don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
But Travis Scott said, I don't care.
I'm in.
I'll do whatever.
I'm with the Kardashian. I like drama.
I don't care. Bring on the drama. And you know what? Y'all want to throw it in my show and give me some more money? I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be fine. I think
it's Maroon 5.
It's honestly,
like,
it's Maroon 5. They're a great band. They're going to put on a great show. It's going to be poetic and deep. And you know what? 2 days later, it's going to be done and over with, and nobody's going to be talking about it anymore.
That's right. It's not like Justin Timberlake's going to pull one of their tops off.
Pull a boob. Yeah.
I don't
see any boobs coming out during the Super Bowl.
No, doesn't. I mean, I think it'll be
fine.
Interesting. So,
but I do think it'll be interesting to see the reaction to whatever their philosophical message is going to be. I'm sure it will be.
There's going to be some visual protest that they're not going to say, but it's going to be like on the stage or something. So when that drone shot shows it, it's going to be like, there's a big
Maroon
fist
5
up there or something, right?
We were supposed to go to their concert years ago when they pulled out because of the whole bathroom thing here. So they tend to be yes. So they tend to be a little outspoken and a little. So I don't know. We'll see.
With that. I'm fine with that. Whatever. I guess it's one of these like, all right, people, make up your mind. Do you want to hear their music or do you want to follow them for their political beliefs? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Adam Levine's by no means going to be concerned with that. I don't know. Moose, who are you pulling for in the Super Bowl? Rams. Really? Anybody but Tom Brady?
So this is what the meme that I saw was an entire picture of the United States, and red was Patriots and blue was Rams. And it said percentage of people pulling for the Rams. And it was the entire country except a little dot of red up near Boston.
Right above Boston. Yeah. Everybody's tired of the Patriots.
They are the Alabama of the NFL.
I guess so. Everybody except Wes Baker, my husband.
Ew.
Wes Baker has quite the man crush on Tom Brady.
Oh, gosh. I can't handle that.
He does. One year we went through
weirdo, Tom Brady is.
We went through a spell one year where Wes didn't cut his hair because Tom had not cut his hair. Tom was in the middle of a season and had told people he was not cutting his hair for this whole season. This is probably like 5 years ago. And that he was not cutting it that season because they were doing so well. And so Wes said, well, I'm not cutting my hair then either. And so Tom Terrific, as he refers to him.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I will say this. It's not that Wes is like a big Patriots fan. He's not. It's Tom Brady that he'll tell you, he'll be like, yeah, I just respect him. It's just, the guy is just
amazing,
good,
and like, I will give him that.
Yeah, you can't deny that when you watch it. Now,
agreed.
I used to live in St. Louis, which obviously where the Rams used to be.
Oh, right,
and they're not there anymore. They're in L.A., right?
L.A.,
is that right? Okay, so, but I don't really have a connection to the Rams in any way, nor do I obviously necessarily have a connection to the Patriots either. But when the Patriots were playing the Chiefs.
Okay.
There was a part of me that was really cheering because this year I won my fantasy football league.
Oh, my.
I played in an all-girl league.
Oh, how fun.
And I won this year, second year in a row, thank you. And my quarterback was Patrick Mahomes, which was the quarterback for the Chiefs.
I like him so much.
So I ended up following the Chiefs like pretty closely all year long just because I was watching him and because he was so stinking good.
Yes, so good.
That I was kind of a little heartbroken that he didn't get to go. But he's so young.
So young.
He's so young. He's going to have so many more chances. He played in the Pro Bowl,
I feel like
he did.
saw.
He got to play because they were out at that point. So obviously you don't have your Super Bowl teams playing in the Pro Bowl. But
Yeah, I think Tom Brady is good. I think I kept saying maybe if he wins this year he'll be done, but I think he's already announced.
I don't think he'll be done.
I think he's already announced that he's coming back regardless, and that's I think. It might be his ego that I don't love, potentially.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like he's incredibly awkward.
Super awkward.
So I saw him doing this little like press conference thing, and he's up there in front of like all these other teammates, and he's trying to get this chant going, and he's like, we're still here. We're still here.
I
right?
did see that.
And then instead of like mic drop, he like awkwardly throws the mic, and it looks like he was supposed to be doing
He's
mic
trying
drop,
to be cool.
but he wasn't. Yeah. It was like he just sort of fish flopped it over there, and it was just really weird. And then
he's trying to be cool and relatable, and he's just not. I think that's the other side of it.
And I really want. I'm going to try to find this real quick while we're sitting here talking. This thing that on a page I follow on Instagram. And it's pretty funny. I'll encourage everybody to follow it in just a minute as well. Let's see. Tom Brady locker room. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it's funny.
A locker room.
Wait, who says it? What's the guy's name? Moose, football announcer, or he does like sideline stuff.
Bob Menery?
No, this guy's.
Oh my gosh.
Who?
If you don't follow Bob Menery, you are missing.
I don't even know who that is.
He is he has a voice that sounds like a commentator for all sports, but what he does is he voices over he just commentates on really great things that are happening in sports, but he is so hysterical. He cusses like a sailor. And you really have to start following him. It's hysterical.
This guy I like following because he's really good looking.
Oh, well, that's
he's
good
bald
too.
now, and he's bald now, and he
is he a sportscaster?
Yes, but he may have played before, and it's son of a gun. What are the quarterback names that had the girl that used to be on Survivor ages ago? She married a quarterback. Hasselbeck. Okay. There's two though, right?
Yes. Matt
Tim,
Hasselbeck and Tim. Tim is her husband's name, I believe.
Is it Kirk
Herbstreit?
Herbstreit?
No, he's not bald though, but he's very cute.
He's not bald?
He's not on the NFL either. He's college.
Really?
Yes.
What?
I know Kirk Herbstreit quite well.
I'm going to find this. What do you know about Kirk Herbstreit? Kidding.
I wish I knew more.
I know, right?
I know I watch him every Saturday during football season.
Yes, there is. Okay, so he's college. Okay, so this has got to be a Hassel something another. Okay, this is I'm here. Who is this guy?
You find it?
Who is that guy? I'm just looking at a video.
I have no idea.
Damn it.
We're losing it.
Says, show me. Who's that guy? Do you know him?
Oh, all right. You're failing.
So let me play this. All right, hold on.
Look at the microphone.
Instagram. I don't know.
No, look at the microphone and see if it says
NFL Network.
NFL Network.
All right.
That's why I don't
Hold
know.
on. I'm gonna hold this up to the mic, okay? This was an Instagram post that came out, and this just describes what I'm like. I don't know if you can pull this off, Tom Brady.
Okay, good.
This was prior to the Patriots-Chiefs game.
Okay. Yes.
And this is a guy on the sideline that is saying this about what he's heard.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to wait till he says it again because it's on loop. And here it comes. Shoot, I missed it. Hold on. Okay.
Scroll down and back up and it'll
Yeah,
repeat.
and it's not, I'm on that actual post. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Year, and a Patriots staffer told me early in the week Brady walked into the facility and said, and I quote, "I am the baddest mother on the planet." Back to you. Year.
Okay.
Hence his ego may be a bit inflated.
I don't know that Tom Brady can pull off that quote just because of the way it's said.
Right.
I'm the baddest mother ever. Tom Brady.
Sit down.
You sweet little man.
Bless his heart.
Down. It is a bless his heart.
That's what we say in the South.
I've played that clip so many times, and even Wes, who loves Tom Terrific, is like.
And I love how the guy's like, and I quote.
Because he's like, I'm not
just so
saying
you know, I'm not saying it. He said this about himself.
He said it walking in the locker room about himself, almost in third person, is essentially what we should be saying. So,
bless.
yes. Well, nonetheless,
go Rams.
Yeah, okay.
Go Rams. Go Adam Levine. It'll be great.
Go Adam Levine. Speaking of concerts.
Okay. Yes.
So glad to have you here. As soon as I saw this on Facebook and Instagram, no, probably Instagram, I was like, I need her to come on Chick Chat. So Cameron just went on a trip. You were originally from Florida.
I was.
You
Yes,
do
I
have,
am.
You do have, and your husband is too. You have family still down there. You have friends.
Lots of friends.
Whatever.
Yes,
Right. So
yes.
You also, both of you went to college down there.
Yes, go Gators.
I knew it was coming. So, but you recently went on a trip. Tell me about it.
Yes. So we try to go down there a couple times a year. It's getting few and far between as the kids get older. But about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, my mom asked me if I could hold a weekend, but she wouldn't tell me for what. She said, just Martin Luther King Day weekend, mark it off your calendar. Can you get away without Peter, without the kids? I said, yes.
I will make it happen.
I will make it happen. So I marked it on the calendar, and a few months went by, and we finally, I get a text from her that says, we are going to see Cher.
Cher.
And the heavens opened,
Yes.
and the light shined down.
And no troubles seemed to come your way.
No
for
troubles
weeks.
came my way for
Yes.
weeks. So we started the countdown, and as we got closer, it came that we were going to be 6th row
Gracious.
on the floor. So we were going to be able to see her
And her thighs.
and her thighs and her skin and her
Sweat.
ass
Sweat.
and her sweat. I
Everything.
don't think she sweats. I think she just glistens.
Glistens.
I think
Droplets
it's
of sparkles.
droplets of glitter just fall from her
Gracious.
face. So we went down, and Saturday afternoon, the party bus pulled in, and my mom and I and some other friends got in, and we started our journey to Fort Lauderdale. Lots went into the outfit, the shoes.
I mean, it would have
it's
to.
Cher.
It's Cher.
She could have seen me. I'm in the 6th
you're-
row.
You cannot be called out, first of all. Like, if she would have seen something she didn't like, she has no worries, to say
worries.
something.
And let me just point out that I had several people not necessarily make fun, but felt that I was putting too much into my
Cher?
outfit.
A Cher attendance?
Not necessarily that, but my wardrobe, what am I going to sing? What am I going to and
No, let me just pause this,
Yes.
because I have in my phone, on certain people, there are little emojis that I
Emojis.
put in between their name, right? Mm-hmm. Cameron emoji, last name, right?
Yes.
Like, that's what I do.
as do I.
Yes, okay. And I thought I did it first because it's supposed to be, you were supposed to use like a heart beside somebody, and that's your emergency contact, right? Yeah, okay. So that's how it kind of started. And then I was like, ooh, I could totally have fun with this. Do a couple other people, right? I have one for you.
Yes.
And I've had it for a long time since we've known each other. Yours is a red high heel shoe.
As it should be.
Who are you hanging out with that thinks that you put something too much into an outfit? You were the queen of putting it all in the outfit.
I know. And
Like this is a surprise to anybody.
I sent multiple texts, and I said, are sequins too much?
No.
It's Cher.
No.
Right?
What? No.
And I would like to go on record to say that if I had not worn sequins, I would have been in the minority at the people at that concert. So I did good. I wore sequins.
blend.
I blended. Everybody was dressed to the nines. It was amazing. But so we get down to the floor, we find our seats, we get our cocktails, and she comes out singing It's a Woman's World.
No.
Tell the truth.
No.
And I just can't explain to you the level of, I don't even know how to explain it, but the way that we were discussing and dissecting the way she looked, the amazing costumes. She had 10 that we counted.
I saw some of your posts in the live video portion,
Yes.
the Instagram live stuff, right? So
Yes.
I watched multiple times because you have a video of her wearing the Battleship.
Yep. Turn back time.
Turn back time leather jacket with the thong.
Thong, nude bodysuit,
Yes.
fishnets.
And she's in her 70s now, right?
She's 72.
72. And I stared at that woman's ass.
Yes, her ass.
I stared at it for a good long time, more than I should have on any Instagram post.
I know.
Because I was in awe. Like, I played it over and over again to be like, what is...
One of our friends that went has a still shot of that costume of her profile. And when I say that we zoomed in, it was quite impressive.
Unbelievable. And long legs. Super long legs.
Beautiful skin.
And then she had the hair, the wig,
multiple
like made
wigs
into the way she looked on the
it was black,
whatever she was.
big curly.
Right.
And I mean, it was a whole thing. Like it just, the show itself we felt like we were at a Las Vegas show based on because I love a good concert. I grew up dancing. Like, I like going to hear music, but I like the theatrics of a concert.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate the work and all the supporting characters that go into that. And it was one of those concerts where you didn't want to leave to go get a drink. Nobody left. Nobody went to the bathroom. And when it was over, she sang for about an hour and maybe 40 minutes. And when it was over, we were all like,
Life is kind of done right now.
That's it. Like
we might as well
wanted
just go to
so
bed.
much more.
Right.
I wanted so much more, but it was amazing. And honestly, there was a part at the beginning that she stood and talked to the audience for probably a good 10 minutes, and it was amazing because she was just ad-libbing, and she would be like, "Oh, so anyway, so." Well, I was going to tell you about that, but never mind. Let's just go on. So I was on the phone the other night.
Like we're sitting in her living room.
Like we're sitting in her living room.
Goodness.
And I will end by saying this was the line that she basically, she came out singing the first song. The first song ended. She had her whole conversation. And the way she went into her next song was she looked at the audience and she said, "So I got one question for you. What's your granny doing tonight?"
Oh my
and she
gosh.
turned around, marched back, and the lights went dark and the show started. And it was like, what is your granny doing? Because she's 72. I mean, there's a lot of grannies that are 72. She's older than my mom is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite amazing. And she danced, and she had high heels and boots, and her voice. I mean, I sounds like I'm a little bit slightly obsessed, but it was one of those moments where you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like she deserves everything that she has because she's worked her ass off her entire life. And there's a lot of people that don't sound like that after a 50-year career.
Yeah.
She sang "I Got You, Babe." Yeah. And she had Sunny on the monitor. And people were literally crying.
Right.
People that kind of lived in that era, I guess. And
sure.
She would look at the monitor and they would sing to each other. I mean, it was really kind of a very touching moment. It was amazing.
Got chills. I just got chills.
I know. And honestly, I would go see her again. So it was one of those shows that I came home and unfortunately she was in Charlotte last week and it was a little too close. But although she's had multiple farewell tours, if she happens to do another one, I will be there.
You would go.
The problem is I don't know if I could go without being on the 6th row.
I know, right? Yeah. Like
I'm a little spoiled.
You're not cool with hanging out in the balcony.
Gosh, it was good, guys. It's good.
Goals, share goals. You're just going to have to be ready and be prepared. If you start a little share fund right now.
Oh, I know.
And then whenever they're announced, you just pop out the money for the floor seats and be like, done. I've been waiting for this.
There are artists that you need to sit on the floor for, and there's some that you're fine sitting up top.
Absolutely.
She is one that I would highly recommend sitting close.
Hi, I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
And we're the co-hosts of Foot Candle Films, a movie review and film discussion show here on themesh.tv.
Each episode, we talk about some new movies, cover some film news, and have some recommendations.
And trust us, we're just as likely to talk about the latest Jim Jarmusch film as we are the newest Transformers installment.
Hold on, don't get too crazy.
Well, okay, maybe not that bad. But you can find our show and all our episodes on themesh.tv. Plus, you can subscribe to get new episodes delivered right to your computer or mobile device.
We'll see you in the ticket line.
Who do you have a bucket list concert to see?
Bon Jovi is my number one bucket list.
Really?
And he's been here multiple times.
And it just doesn't work out?
Well, I take that back. Wait, was it this summer? No, I did go see Bon Jovi this summer. That was this summer. But he was always my bucket list.
Yes.
So I saw him this summer. And I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah.
it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Right. That's my biggest fear about my bucket list, like concert stuff, is that it's going to be like, cool. You waited for this.
The problem.
Who's your bucket concert? Yeah, one. I know it's tough. Rolling Stones. Okay, which I have seen. P.S. I saw them in high school. Went and did that. And you know who I was sitting behind? The cast of Christy. Do y'all remember Christy, the show that was on? It was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman spinoff.
Oh,
yeah. I sat behind the cast of the backup Dr. Quinn.
So who's yours?
Kenny Loggins. I'm waiting for the right casino.
Do you want me to do the concert right now?
I'm waiting for the right casino.
He's going to come to Harrah's, maybe.
I'm waiting. He does lots of other casinos, other places. And I'm dead serious when I say this. Like, that is straight up bucket list. I want to see him. Okay, so.
That would be a good one, actually.
Tell me like a Kenny Loggins song that you don't like.
That you don't know. I know.
And that you couldn't sing along to.
Right. And I think that's why Cher, and honestly, every concert is like this for me. Because I love concerts. I will pay the money and go to them all the time.
Yes.
And other people they don't care. They listen to them on the radio, right? Like we're going to New Kids on the Block this summer. New Kids on the Block, Salt and Pepper, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
And I'm super excited. I don't need to sit on the floor.
Sure.
But a concert where you can sing every word to every song and not want to go to the bathroom is 100% a marker for me.
I love it.
And when I went to see Bon Jovi this summer, the typical songs everybody knows and sings are great.
Yeah.
But when he starts doing some of that new stuff and stuff nobody knows, the entire stadium goes to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love these casino shows, right? So I went to Harrah's Casino in Cherokee, which is here in North Carolina, on the Indian Reservation, and went to see Air Supply. Okay. At Harrah's.
Gosh. That's amazing.
It's one of these where you're like, whatever. Like, let's go take a trip to the casino. Air Supply's playing. That'd be cool. I know some of their songs or whatever. Holy
Way more
smokes.
than you thought.
Yeah, you get in there, and every song they're playing, you're just like, you're crying, like singing it so loud because, of course, I know
all these
this.
songs that you knew and never knew who sang them.
That's right. Or had forgotten. I mean, honestly, because maybe they weren't played often on the radio or something.
Right.
But I grew up with parents that played the vinyls of Air Supply
Foreigner.
every weekend. Yes, exactly. It was Air Supply, Billy Joel, Elton John, the Beatles, this type of stuff every weekend.
Yeah.
And I got there and I knew every single word. And we were with another couple. And then the people in front of us were pretty close to our age too, because there was all ages in Air Supply, right?
A large variety.
Everybody was there. And the casino ones are super intimate. They're really small.
I need to go to Harrah's.
And it's so nice. So we were actually on like a little elevated area, but you can walk right down to the floor, right? So these two men from Air Supply, they are air and supply. Like these two men walk down onto the floor and are just walking around singing, and to these little old ladies, like they get down beside them and sing into the whisper in their ear type stuff.
Yeah.
And Wes was like, go down there and give me your camera. I give him my phone. He goes, I go down there and stand at the end of an aisle, and I hold my arms open, and he comes over and gives me a hug while he's singing. While he's singing, and I have a video of me turning around and looking back at Wes going,
now what?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what to do, and it's hilarious. But it was like, that's what you can pull off at those things. So I'm like,
there's a big difference in a concert like that.
Yes.
And Kenny Loggins would be an intimate setting.
Totally.
It wouldn't be a big arena. Yes.
So excited. I check his tour dates.
We will find it for you.
Literally every month. Check his tour dates.
We are going to find it.
I was like 25. Right?
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah,
he's one of those that I bet sings a lot of things that I don't even realize.
Absolutely.
Other than Footloose and I'm Proud to be an American. Right?
He doesn't sing that.
Not Proud to be an American.
That's Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood. Oh gosh. That's what I was thinking
This
of.
is Highway to the Danger Zone.
Yes.
This is...
It is Footloose, though.
Footloose.
Okay.
This is Heaven Help Me. This is Pooh Corner. You know, I mean...
See, I don't know any of that, but I probably do know it.
You do.
Do you know what I mean?
He did the entire theme songs for
Danger Zone.
Footloose and Top Gun.
Top Gun, yes.
He sang with duets. He's got like 2 famous duets with that lady that I don't like. What's her name from Fleetwood Mac?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's a
let it be known.
It is the earworm waiting to happen. Like you just click on like best of Kenny Loggins and boom.
Okay.
You'll be like, oh my gosh, I can listen to the entire thing.
Hey Google,
Caddyshack.
play Kenny Loggins.
He does the
right.
Caddyshack theme song.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm
It's gonna
excited.
happen
Now I'm
for me.
good.
It's gonna
You
happen.
might need to
for
take me with you.
I know, right? It's gonna happen for me. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of crappy concerts in my life too.
Yes,
but none of
gosh.
them that I didn't have a good time at.
Right.
Though. Like
That's the
even
thing
if
about
it's
a
like a
concert.
band that I'm like, I don't really know all your stuff, or you're new, like a younger band maybe
Yeah.
that's kind of fresh and everybody wants to go see. You're still learning their stuff, so it's not like, but I still have such a good time. But I
have
don't
friends
care.
that don't want to pay to go to a concert, and I'm kind of like, because they don't know the music. And part of me is like, I might not know music, but if I'm going with a big group of friends to a concert, you're going to have fun regardless.
Yeah.
So let me pay the $100 or whatever it is to go and just have a good time.
Yes.
You know, I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's hard to not have a good time at a concert.
Moose will invest in concerts. Like Moose, it's worth the money, and it's not always the best outcome on the concert itself, maybe, but the time
always have a good
and the
time.
culture is exactly what you need. That's why you're going. That's exactly
why you're
right.
going.
There's a whole reason that everybody goes to see Jimmy Buffett, right? It's not because that was your favorite song growing up, or that it was who you listened to all the time. It's because of the atmosphere, the tailgating, the culture, all of that. And
we did that this
him.
summer, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, it
people
was
love him
awesome.
and some of his songs, but it's not like you go and get in your car every time and listen to Jimmy Buffett.
Right. No.
Right?
No,
So,
of course not. It's the
Anyway,
experience.
I'm jealous about Cher. I do think we need an adventure tour at some point with some concerts.
I do.
Maybe
I
some
agree.
knockoff, some casino ones.
Yeah, I would love to, because I keep forgetting that Harrah's is actually so close. And I really do need to get on and like see their lineup and just pick a weekend.
Willie Nelson was there the weekend after Air Supply was, and then it was like Tony.
Yes,
Was coming through.
Feels good.
Yes, right. It's like, so
Sorry about that,
You could totally like see anybody at the casino.
Oh my God,
It doesn't
that's awesome.
matter.
From Tony to Kenny or Willie Nelson.
Yes, and Air Supply.
And Air Supply.
The Cherokee people welcome everybody. They really do.
They're all encompassing.
Hey, so today is February 1st, and you know what that means for me? New Year's Resolution Day. Do you know that?
That it's over?
No. I never start mine on January 1st.
Oh, you're February 1st.
I am. Everybody that's ever listened to the show knows that I'm a firm believer in this.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that Moose is producing this today, because he's the perfect example of why February 1st is right.
Is it confession time?
So I have never understood why people start things on January 1.
Right.
Never understood. Okay. Moose and I were just talking the other day about how January has been so long.
Yes.
So long.
Like 88 days.
Yes. And everybody feels it, right?
100%. Worst
Happens
month of
every
the
year, right?
Yes.
Every year. It's because starting in October, this is my belief, starting in October, you are non-stop. I don't care who you are, what your religion is, what your beliefs are, what you practice, nothing. From October to January 1, you are headstrong,
On the go.
balls
Yep.
to the wall, right?
Balls to the wall. 100%.
So when it comes January and people don't have something
to do.
to have to focus on like that, it makes it feel so long, because it's not flying by like the times you're busy, right?
Right. Totally.
So I've never understood why somebody can expect to come off of this crazy amount of time and then go cold turkey
So true.
on the day that you ring in at midnight with cocktails,
Champagne.
okay, and a party.
Yes.
It's like where food is, right?
100%.
Those are the two biggest things you always hear about. losing weight, stopping drinking, cutting back on alcohol, whatever, right?
Crazy people.
Moose.
Oh.
Okay. Moose says he's going to do Sober January.
Oh.
Okay? Along with all these buddies of his and
One
stuff.
way to make January even worse than it already is
Sober
taking away
January.
the alcohol.
And he's not the only one. I see it all the time online. People are like, oh, doing Sober January, blah, 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 cleaning out after this holiday season, blah, blah, blah.
Not practical.
So I say to Moose, I'm like, Moose, how is that practical if you're going to have a toast at midnight? And he was like, I didn't drink at midnight. And I'm like, okay, well, then you've kicked off your year wrong in the first place, right? But let me just tell you a little secret. The other night, it was the 25th, 26th of January. I go with some friends and my children out to the Mexican restaurant. I spy Moose drinking beer at the next table.
Oh, boy.
With all of his other Sober January friends.
At least y'all stuck together.
And then he comes back and over to the table and he's like, I made it 25 days. And I'm like, yeah, well, so it's January 25 days
sober.
So it is.
That's impressive. I will say that you made it 25 days. That is
You lush.
something to be proud of.
You know, I just don't get it because what I have done for January is basically be like, you know what? I'm recouping. I'm rejuvenating myself.
Yes.
I'm kind of letting this long period go, like to where, I don't have as much
taking a
going on right
break.
now.
Yes.
Getting prepared, and then February 1st, if I have any resolutions, then I can start them then, and I can feel
actually a good
pretty
idea.
darn good about it because I still get 12 months worth.
Right.
It doesn't matter, and it's still the first of the year.
Right. I think that's
Everybody
a very
hates
smart
January
idea.
anyway.
There's a lot of pressure for January.
Why?
And
Why?
I think every year, I'm kind of the same way. I'm a typical fitness dieter every year, kind of the same way.
It's the same thing. Most people have the same resolutions every single year.
Yes. And it just makes January dreadful.
Miserable.
For all involved.
Miserable.
And I told myself this year I was going to start a little earlier.
Yeah.
So I actually tried to start doing better in November.
Yes.
But I gave progress over perfection is
Sure,
my motto,
sure.
right? So
Every little bit helps.
I typically would say, screw it, it's November, December, the whole months are gone to crap, right? I tried to at least, when there was just a normal day, like November the 12th, when it's not Thanksgiving Day. So the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas, parties here and there, whatever happened.
Yeah.
But I didn't throw the whole months away. And I
course.
got to be honest. January rolls around and I'm not super miserable.
Right. It's the same concept
The
of
pressure,
February, right?
right, exactly.
Either you're
Starting
going
at a
little
different time.
January's the worst.
From one extreme to the other
Yes.
is just a brutal thing to do
It's
to
like,
yourself.
I don't understand why somebody invented that. Like, somebody thinks that it has to
know.
happen with that. I get the whole new year, but like, I don't understand why people think it still works.
Yes,
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's like, I
not
don't understand who
practical.
said eggs had to be for breakfast. Like,
Right.
those type of things. Like,
Right.
have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about how breakfast food, people say you got to have cereal, you have cereal, you have
oatmeal,
eggs, toast,
right.
oatmeal, whatever. Why
can't?
can't you have tacos at breakfast?
Oh, I love a breakfast taco.
I mean, but why can't
Right.
you? Right?
I know,
Like,
you can.
Why can't you have pizza at breakfast? Or why can't you have grilled chicken with asparagus and,
A sweet
corn
potato.
or something,
Right.
right? For breakfast. Why not?
Yeah, I know. You're right. I don't know that I want asparagus first thing in the morning.
You know,
I can't say I'm craving it. But if you want it,
You never know.
by George, go get it.
Yeah, I think it's one
Do
of these
it.
things like somebody out there said, we got to eat that thing that just popped out of the chicken.
Yeah. No,
And everybody believed him.
something sweet, something salty, maybe that jumpstarts your metabolism. But I mean, eat a piece of pizza. I love a piece of pizza for breakfast.
Love a good pizza in the morning.
Love
Absolutely.
a good cold pizza in the morning.
Totally balanced food groups
Yes.
in one slice.
In one slice. Dairy, protein, grain.
All together.
All together.
Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce, a little sugar.
Yum. Okay, so we'll finish this up a little bit. Quick recap here. What are you watching on TV now?
Oh gosh, what aren't I watching right now? I mean, everything that Bravo puts out.
Okay, so on Bravo right now, I watch Below Deck, which
100% just finished.
Yes.
The best season I've seen on Below Deck in a long time.
Shut up, really?
I felt
I
that
didn't
way.
like it at all.
Oh gosh, I thought it was great.
I
thought it
like
was great.
certain people. I didn't like everything about it.
I mean, I think because there was so much drama that I felt like it aided
there was
to their best season ever claim.
Yeah. Well, and it's always a different feel between Captain Lee versus Captain Sandy.
I know.
Right? Because you have the balance of Kate versus Hannah. Okay, so it really depends on who your chief stew is going to be.
I don't love Hannah.
I don't love Hannah, and I do like Kate better.
Yes.
But Hannah seems to usually have a little more, like, she's still a little bit of silliness in her whenever she gets, like, ridiculousness in her whenever she has some alcohol and stuff.
Yes,
so she adds to the storyline, if you will. Kate's more like, this is dumb, I'm going back to my room.
I listened to a podcast that kind of does recaps of all the Bravo shows.
Yes.
Hysterical. And they do their impression of Kate.
Is it Watch What Crappens?
It is.
I listened to it as well.
Okay.
Their impressions are on point.
Hysterical.
Yes.
And when they do Kate, I live for it because she could care less about anyone or anything.
Everything.
And that just, to me, just makes her just the perfect person for that show because she doesn't want to deal with any of the drama. She didn't have time.
She's like, I'm here to work.
I'm here to work.
Done.
Okay,
And
thanks, bye.
How old is Kate?
I think she's older than we think.
I agree.
I would say over 40.
I think so too. And just, I really want to know. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, you might be too old for this.
I know.
And then there's, where you're like waiting on people like this, and then there's the other one where it's like, and stop being so kind of catty about some of the stuff. And then there's the other side of me. It's like, I don't know. Maybe
I think she goes 6 weeks, makes a shit ton of money, and then goes home and
does nothing for a little while.
Does nothing for a while. I mean, that's not a bad life. And she's, she doesn't have a relationship or kids or, so I guess why not? But I don't know that I could do it for as long. But
no, I know. I guess that job seems more like your late 20s role,
yes.
right? Your
like being on a cruise ship
type stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Year.
I mean, this is. I'm totally just.
Can I go back and have a gap year?
No kidding. Like, I need a gap year right now. But that's what it is. It's that's what I envision it being.
Yes.
And then you've got somebody like Kate who's like been doing it forever, and even Hannah. Even Hannah's been doing it for 9 years.
Yes, that's a long time.
That's a hell of a long time for that job.
I don't really know how many seasons or stints 9 years encompasses, but that is a lot of charters to be.
Charter season is
washing
like
towels
once a year.
and
So 9 charter seasons, like back to back. That's crazy.
I would like to do that sometime.
Super fun.
If we could get a GoFundMe going for our yacht experience, because after seeing all these shows,
here's the thing though: if Cher does not come around again, you have your Cher fund.
Oh, right.
To put towards that.
I would need probably a lot of Cher funds.
Do you know, like, how in the world? Okay, so there's the primary guest that comes on these yachts. So if you haven't seen Below Deck, there is a guest. They get to bring friends or whatever. I'm sure friends chip in to do things, but the primary guest is
the one in charge.
The one in charge, paying the bulk or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And then they already have to pay to book the yacht, do a trip, typically 3-ish days, right? So 3-ish days, 2 nights, enough time to, that's a vacation,
have a good time.
Right?
Yeah.
So they are there. And then when they leave, they give the crew a tip. And the tip averages between $15,000 and $20,000.
Yes.
Per charter.
Yep.
And then the crew splits it evenly.
Right.
Amongst everyone.
Right.
How do you have $20,000 to give the crew
on top of what you've already paid?
Already thousands of dollars to rent the yacht.
Yeah,
I
know.
Get it. And some of these people are not like, we're not talking like Bill Gates coming on this thing. These are realtors.
Yes, I think these are realtors that sell like a $5 million home
and then
run home with a commission check to pay for the yacht. I also think they have to be getting some sort of Bravo discount potentially. I know they're paying the yacht.
Getting paid to look horrible though. Most of those guests are ridiculous.
Oh, bless. It does not put them in a good light.
Did you watch the most recent final episode?
I did, with the country club
and that
ladies.
That poor girl just drank the entire time and blessed out all of her friends.
I know. And I just wonder, and did you see that what's the Ross? Is that the guy from South Africa, the deckhand, the head bosun, whatever that was ended up being? He's like dating that one of those girls now.
No.
Yes, I swear I just saw this because Kate.
I will investigate.
He posted it on Instagram, a picture of him and
The
her.
bosun?
Yes, the guy that has the son.
The son.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm researching.
Yes,
Ridiculous.
he posted it on Instagram, and then
No.
Kate retweeted it with some snarky comments.
Of course she did.
And then it was like a whole back and forth between the two of them. And he's the one that made it public. But I don't remember which woman it was, but it was definitely one of the charter guests that he
Well,
is
in
now.
December, he was arrested in West Palm Beach. That's your home turf,
That
right?
is my home turf.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Disorderly intoxication.
Imagine that.
Shocker.
I mean, I think they get off those
And battery.
ships with all their money and they just go to town
Because
for
they
a
don't
couple
know what
weeks.
else to do with it.
They don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's a good
So,
show, and
I watched that on Bravo. And that, I mean, I catch some other things on Bravo
Yeah.
here and there, but like sometimes I'm like, ooh, overload. Like
you
there's
do
so
get
much.
overload. Yes, sometimes my DVR is like, whoa.
Real Housewives of New York, which was the only Real Housewives that I watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
getting
watch
ready
the
to
other
come
ones.
back.
It's getting ready to come back, so I will partake
Trailer
in that.
is out. Yep.
What about network TV? Do you watch any of the crying shows?
The what?
The crying shows?
I mean,
This Is Us or
I actually
A Million
don't.
Little Things?
I don't watch any of that stuff, honestly. We've kind of gotten out of almost all network television, to be quite honest. I mean, we used to watch Scandal and Designated Survivor and How to Get Away with
Both
Murder.
done. Yeah, that one's still on.
That one's still on. We actually don't even watch it, though. We've just gotten
Me too. I quit that
into
one.
just all the Netflix stuff and all the
Yes.
Amazon stuff. And, we'll watch Datelines and 2020s. But we watch some 30-minute stuff. Like we do all the Modern Family and
Do you watch The Neighborhood?
the Neighborhood.
Freaking
Yes,
hilarious.
hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Hysterical.
I
Because we
watched it
love
on,
that
like,
guy.
a random whim one night. I was just like, man, whatever. I laughed out loud. Like I actually laughed out loud.
Yeah, he
The guy from
Cedric the Entertainer and the guy from New Girl.
New Girl, yeah.
And
He's
also,
hilarious.
there was also a Friends show that we used to watch with him in it too. That was great. But so that whole like lineup,
Yes.
we usually will watch. Blackish, we watch.
Yes.
But those hour long, I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what it is about.
I save
them.
those a lot for Netflix. I do watch This Is Us only because I'm invested now and I got to figure out what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, I leave it like in my recordings and I can watch it whenever I want to
I
watch
do
it.
have a bit of FOMO with This Is Us. I got to
Yeah.
be honest. Like
Well,
I
there's-
actually tried.
There's This Is Us and then there's A Million Little Things, right?
I've seen the previews for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's essentially the knockoff This Is Us. I believe
Is it
the
good,
way that they're
though?
doing it is good, but it's also one of these that every time that I watch it I'm like, oh my god, that was like exhausting.
Exhausting. Yeah.
So again, it's one that I might catch up on every once in a while, but I'm not like, oh, it came on tonight, I got to watch it,
It's the drama of it I just can't handle.
Yes. You know what I do love? It's not network TV, is Top Chef.
I never got into Top Chef.
Oh my gosh, I
The
love Top
cooking
Chef.
stuff.
It's on right now.
I can't get into the cooking stuff.
I love it. I love it.
Really?
I do. I admit it. I love it.
I hear a lot about it, but I don't know, all those
I take
kitchen
some
shows.
sort of gratification with the fact when these fancy chefs do something and I can look at it and be like, ugh, no. Like that's
Like
going to
you're
be
a critic?
right. Like I'm the
Suddenly
critic of
you're
it.
the expert.
Exactly. And I'm like, they're cooking with things I've never even heard of before. But I'm like, ooh, Tom is going to knock you points off for this one or whatever. Right. Like it's just like when people watch American Idol.
Right.
You know,
like
oh,
you
they were
suddenly
pitchy.
are the best critic.
They were pitchy,
Yeah.
and you're like, you can't sing, but
Right.
I know that was pitchy. Like,
Right.
I can tell that they played that horribly. And you didn't plan right. You tried to take over the blah, 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 whatever.
Is there like a main winner on that show at the very end?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they get like a bunch
lot
of
of
stuff.
money
Like they
in
get
a restaurant and
they get
something.
they get a lot of money, and then they get a feature spot like at the Food and Wine Festival, the big one, and like the national Colorado one for Food and Wine magazine.
Okay.
And then they get like a spotlight in such and such show, and then they get like their own magazine article for this and that. I mean, it's just all different like things that
I need to try it.
That these people are wanting as their role, right?
A struggling
that's
chef out there,
that's
right?
Their job, right? So, do you watch The Bachelor?
I am watching.
You're watching. Oh my gosh, have you heard he's a virgin?
Believe it or not, I've heard.
Stop.
However,
I'm so done with them talking about this.
Did
Colton
you
is who we're talking about.
Yes. Did you see the picture of him that's circulating from his
high
prom?
school? Sweet little thing. I get it now.
Might make it easier.
I get it. I get that. But he still had his pro football years. I know.
He is
Colton,
very handsome.
So it was very clear to everybody on this show that I had never seen The Bachelor or Bachelorette until this past year. Okay, I didn't watch it.
Stop.
So I decided I was going to watch Becca's season.
Okay. Yep.
I watched it.
Good season.
And then I was manipulated into watching Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, even better. Oh,
so I watched that.
Yes.
And then thought I was going to take a break because I was like, nah, I'm good. And they suck you in
because they bring you back Colton.
Yes.
That's their MO.
So it's been a while.
And you do realize that somebody from Colton's season that you end up getting invested in will be the next Bachelorette.
I know.
So it's really just a vicious circle that you can't get off.
I'm learning. See, I went through Bachelor, first timer, and Survivor, first timer.
Wow.
I've done 2 seasons of Survivor now. Okay. So, and then of course I watched Big Brother.
Yes, Big Brother.
I know you and I have been on the path for years with Big Brother together.
The Amazing Race is also a good one to watch.
I do watch The Amazing Race, and I actually watched The Amazing Race for a long time because I was on it. I was one of the stops.
You were not.
Yeah.
You were not one of the stops.
I was one of the stops. In Charleston when I lived in South Carolina.
I didn't know that.
I got to hand the envelope. Yeah.
Stop it.
I didn't have a say part or anything, but they had to come into my office to pick up an envelope.
Oh, wow.
You know what's funny? They come in, the crew comes there, this family comes running in, or group comes running in. Mm-hmm. I hand them an envelope. They go outside and sit down and ask me where ice cream was because they were done for the day.
Oh, see, it's all about the editing, isn't it?
Totally.
It does.
They were like, we have to wait on, our next step, basically.
I mean, the crew has to get there before they do.
Right.
So
they're like, they literally asked me if we knew of any ice cream places close by that they could walk.
Lies, they tell you.
CBS.
Lies.
Yeah. So, but I do love Amazing Race, and I'll watch it again whenever it does come.
All those shows are great. Those are good network shows.
There's a new show called Good Trouble. It's on the CW.
Oh, the CW.
You know the CW will suck you in with some.
I haven't started with the
millennial
CW
drama,
but I try to find shows for my kids because I feel like YouTube is not where they should be. I want them to get into some shows on television.
Do your kids watch Riverdale?
I no.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
But I've heard about it.
That's dark.
I've heard it's
deep and dark and intense.
Brandon, my 14-year-old, tells me that all the girls watch that.
I bet they do.
I don't know anything about it.
KJ Kupta or whatever his name is, the kid that plays Archie. Holy smokes.
Cute.
But they appeal to everybody because you know who plays his daddy on the show?
Mark Consuelos.
No, Luke Perry.
Oh, I thought Mark Consuelos was on that show.
Oh, he is.
Oh, okay.
As another daddy.
Of course.
Okay, so guess who's married on this show and is Archie's parents? Luke Perry and Molly Ringwald.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
We're old.
And then Jughead. Okay, we all have heard of Archie, Jughead, Betty, and Veronica, right?
That's their names?
Yeah, this is all based off the Archie comics.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they're from Riverdale.
Oh, my God.
So there's Archie, Jughead, Betty, Veronica, right? 4 best friends, okay? Archie's parents, Luke Perry, and Molly Ringwald. Jughead's dad, Skeet Ulrich of Scream fame.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
Veronica's dad, Mark Consuelos. His mistress, Kelly Ripa.
I saw that because I
Yes.
follow her on Instagram.
Yes.
I thought she was on it.
The Betty's dad is the guy from Van Wilder.
Oh God. What's his name? I know
Fraternity
you're
Row
talking
or
about.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are all people that we were following, and now they're in this. And the mayor of
They're
Riverdale.
all the parents.
The mayor of Riverdale, Robin Givens.
Oh God. Poor Robin Givens.
It's crazy to
Wow.
watch. Yeah.
Is it good though?
Yeah, kind of.
It's actually pretty fun.
Actually pretty good.
I do need a
It's
new-
dark. There is no humor to it. There is no comedy. It is dark. There's murders. There's killings. There's...
What the heck?
Yeah.
Archie went dark.
It's Archie Comics' dark side.
Oh my.
And that's
Wow.
on Netflix. Okay, so that's on Netflix now to catch up.
But it's
with
on
the live
CW
season.
current.
On CW's live season, but every season they update it on Netflix. So you could actually watch on Netflix and binge the first little
And get
part
caught
of
up.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might do it. Just to see what the
all
kids
kinds
are
of
talking
sick,
about these
twisted-
days.
Sick and twisted stuff. Way sick and twisted. So this is not the show I was talking about on CW, although I do watch Riverdale. But the one I was going to say, it's called Good Trouble.
Okay.
Two girls. It's a spinoff from The Fosters. I never watched The Fosters, but
Is this the one where they're trying to get money? No. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I don't know. But I'm always intrigued by other new shows.
No,
so
it's
there
not
was
one I was
apparently
thinking
a
of.
show on the Fosters or Freeform or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe this is not on CW. Maybe it's on Freeform. Former something TV. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so there was a show called The Fosters, and that is it was a show where there were lesbian moms.
Okay.
That were like, one of them's a police officer or something, one's like a lawyer. I don't know what it was, but they were foster parents.
Okay.
And so then the story about these troubled kids and blah, 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 and all this stuff, right? And then they're still growing up in like a diverse world and whatnot. Well, this is like a spinoff of it.
Oh.
And it's two of the girls are essentially
grown up
graduated
now.
from college now. And so they're living like in the big city together, right?
Okay.
And so they're following their struggles.
Okay.
Anyway, it's interesting. It is not one that I'm like, ooh, go tell
Dying
your
to
son.
see. Yeah.
Don't go tell your son to go watch this, because it's not exactly that way. Because move to the big city and the first night you're both like having sex in the new
Oh, yeah.
apartment.
No, maybe not
like
at
it's
14.
not that way, but still, if you need a little mindless like girl show, you can watch that.
Okay. I'll check
Yeah.
it out.
So that's
Thanks for my tips.
yeah, there
now
you go.
I've come away with even more television that I need
know.
to watch, which
I know.
is troubling.
But Riverdale on Netflix is like, you'll sit there and you'll watch it and you're like, why am I watching this?
But I
Like,
can't
this
turn
is so
away.
bizarre. Like, why are they even doing this? And none of this makes sense. And then you're like, wonder what happens in the next episode, right? Like that's
And I'll just do one more.
just one more.
One more.
Yes. And on Netflix, have you watched the last thing? Have you watched the Fire documentary?
We just watched it last week, the
Yeah.
one on Netflix.
It's a Netflix one, not Hulu. Netflix.
It has given me life like nothing
Same.
else.
Same.
Because
I want to
of
watch
the
it again.
memes
Yes.
and the humor
And
behind
now it all
it.
makes sense to me.
It all makes sense. And I just was showing Peter, my friend and I that I work with, she just watched it. And so we keep finding these memes
Yeah.
with the gray hair guy
Yes.
and Billy McFarland. And
And what the gray hair guy was going to do
Yes.
in order to save the festival.
Yes. I saw it, if I can describe it for the listeners, but there was a really funny one where, you know how when you buy something online and you check out and you have to select like Visa, MasterCard, whatever.
Yes.
This was Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and his head, like his face. And it was like, how are you going to pay for this? And it was,
They're like, take
if you
one for the
haven't
team.
seen the
No.
Fire Festival
Sweet.
documentary,
Yes.
you really need to see it because it is fascinating, not only for us, but we had been to the Bahamas to
Yes.
Exuma this summer.
Yes.
And we stayed at Sandals, which
So you're
is
seeing that.
where,
Yep.
so it was all very, very familiar
Yep.
territory.
And because this thing was being documented for not a documentary.
Right.
During the actual event. They were documenting because they thought they were awesome. And so we actually have all that footage, which is what makes it fascinating to me. Is that I'm watching this. I'm not having to listen to everybody recount stuff. I'm watching it happen. Moose, did you watch this yet?
The Fire Festival. I think it's called
on
Fire.
Netflix. But did you watch the documentary? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. We've been watching quite a few documentaries recently,
Yes.
not to parlay into a whole nother discussion, but
Are you
the
watching
staircase.
Ted Bundy?
Who?
The Ted Bundy tapes?
We haven't watched it yet.
I want to so bad, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'll have nightmares or something.
I don't think you'll have nightmares.
Everybody's all freaking out about how hot he is. Have you seen that?
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah, everybody. That's
Ew.
what they're talking about. Like, there's a huge internet chain about how hot this guy is,
Oh,
Ted
goodness.
Bundy.
I'm not sure I could get on that.
I can give you an entire list of men in the 70s that were super, super hot that were not murderers.
Yes.
Like, it's super easy to
Way
say,
hotter
like,
than him.
Harrison Ford.
It's like a millennial
You know?
saying he's hot, though.
I know.
They don't get it.
I know.
But The Staircase is a really great documentary about the woman in Raleigh that was found at the bottom of a staircase, and her husband, she had fallen down the stairs, but her husband was put on trial.
I haven't heard this.
But you would recognize Michael Peterson, I think was his name. But very similar, where they were documenting from the day he was arrested, like all the way through. And it's like 12 or 13. It's a much longer, it's episodes, years. But it is fascinating to watch something like that take place. Like at what point during Fire Festival were they not like, we should probably cut the cameras?
There was, the guy, he's kind of got a long hair ponytail, the one that was kind of always like, what are you guys doing?
Yes.
Like, we've got
He
to
was
call this
voice
now.
of reason.
Yeah, he was trying every single time, but of course he's invested at this point or whatever. Like, he tried. He's tried to cut this off, and he was like, just save yourselves now. Like, this is still going to be bad, but if you cut it off now, you at least don't have people here trying to get off and get on the island or whatever.
Seeing those kids and those semis with their luggage being thrown off raised my blood pressure.
I know.
Like
I know.
Nothing else.
I know.
I was sitting there going, I would be in the fetal position.
So for the people that haven't seen it, what we're referring to a lot is that this huge music festival was supposed to happen to be a promotion for another basically company, you know, but they're promoting it by calling it the Fire Festival, and the guy that's putting it on kept promising things and promising things because he, from what I gather, he just honestly believed that he was going to get people to buy into it and pay for it after he's already written the check.
Correct.
Essentially, you know?
Right.
So he's writing these checks and saying he's going to do it. And then they announce it on these massive social media things. They get celebrities to buy into it and all this stuff. But then none of it happens. And they don't have any of the money. They're selling stuff
but
they
they're
don't have.
hurricane tents.
Yes. They're promising yachts.
Yep.
And they have none. You know, I mean, all this stuff. And it was unbelievable how far it got.
Yes.
Before
they could do, it was.
And to hear these people talk about it, like, it's just
traumatizing.
Yeah, I would get so worked up, nervous almost.
Yes.
Whenever you would see something that they're posting that they just announced, like 15 more days and, you know, we've got villas lined up for blah, blah, blah. With your package, you get this, this, this. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, like, I would get so nervous seeing that they just posted that up.
But doesn't it make you think, like, because it looks legit. Everything they were posting looks legit. And it makes you nervous, like social media.
Everything's happening like that.
You never know.
Yeah.
When you are buying something or booking something, you really just don't know what's real.
So crazy what they can manipulate and make people think. And it worked for a lot of people.
It worked for a lot of
So if they get a
kids.
chance, totally go and watch the Fire Festival documentary. I thoroughly enjoyed it and recommend it, but it is still disturbing a little bit.
Disturbing and great for discussion.
Yes.
With the general public.
Yes. And for memes searches everywhere.
Yes. Great humor.
All right. Okay. So we've kept everybody long enough. Cameron, thank you so much for being
You're
here.
so welcome. I hope I did
well. I feel like we're catching up.
We are. We're just having
a normal thing.
chat.
Yeah. Our husbands play, as we said before, golf together a lot, and they have played in some member guest events together
Yes.
in the past as well, which means Cameron and I will at least spend like 1 week in a year together.
Yes.
Like chatting, talking, we catch up,
drinking,
have cocktails, eat good food, and then we go for a while and it's like we're just texting and whatnot.
And
so
every
it's,
time we say we need to do more stuff.
let's do this, let's do that. And
we got to do it.
yeah, maybe we can start cringing on each other's Sunday
Fundays. Yes, our kids are almost the same ages.
I mean, yeah, and at least our kids, I mean, you've got 2 boys, I've got 2 girls, but at least they can all fend for themselves.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
They can
like,
go do their own thing while we
fine.
sit and hang
Yes.
out. Yeah.
Yes.
The joy of
I'm down.
older kids.
down. It's what we waited for. We've
waited
made
our
it.
whole lives for this.
We've made it. Thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who was listening and tuned in. As always, be sure to give us any comments or feedback that you'd like. You can email us at info@themesh.tv. Just let us know it's for ChickChat. You can find us on social media at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And if you have any comments and you want to leave a voicemail for us, you can call 828-619-0048. Otherwise, we just ask that you subscribe and follow along so that whenever we put up a new episode, you can be notified first. And we'll keep you up to date on Janette. We wish her all the best. Hopefully she's tuning in from the hospital by the time this is airing and enjoying her new bundle of joy. Until next time, though, thanks for listening to ChickChat, and thank you again, Cameron, and we will see you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.